My mother got breast cancer when she was 49. When I was 49, on my annual mammogram, they determined that what I had was not yet cancer. I work for a pharmaceutical company. My job is to find better treatments for cancer. When I was told I have a 40% lifetime risk of breast cancer, I knew what that meant. After watching your mother die of breast cancer, I wasn't willing to let it just come for me. I didn't want to wait for that. The doctor said that surgery was one of my options. The first surgery was a mastectomy. They put in temporary implants to just hold the place for the reconstruction that would follow 2 weeks later. So I was drawn to the idea of flap reconstruction because the idea of having some foreign object in my body was just not something I wanted. I liked the idea of it still being my body, and that's what led me to Dr. Kanchwala.
Katie was referred to me by a surgeon I work very closely with. Our goal in reconstructive breast surgery is to get patients to feel and look normal. But feeling normal really has a lot to do with not just the appearance of the reconstruction, but literally how it feels to them. When they hug their loved ones, they can feel that hug back.
I had been focusing just on getting rid of the precancerous tissue. I hadn't really thought about not being able to feel anything. This could be so much better than I had expected or even thought was possible.
Numbness in the breast after a mastectomy or numbness in the chest after a mastectomy is significant to patients because essentially they cannot feel a large part of their body. The only thing that I can relate to that's anywhere close to that is the short-term numbness I feel after I go to the dentist and a portion of my lip is numb. That is maybe less than 0.1% of your total body surface area. Imagine 9% over a huge portion of your chest wall after a mastectomy. You start to get a sense of the scale of this problem.
His goal was, at some point, I would stop thinking about the fact that I'd ever had surgery and I might forget that it even had happened.
Resensation, I think, is a critical part of restoring what patients lose in a mastectomy. At best, if all we're doing is putting tissue up there without the sensation, we're not doing something that's very different than the prosthesis alone, and our goal should be to get much better than that. What we have to do is a transplant, moving the tissue from the abdomen to reconstruct the breast. It is relatively simple to find not just the blood vessels, but the nerves as well on the abdomen, disconnect those nerves, and find new nerves in the chest that you can reconnect those nerves to. For the longest time, the problem with not being able to do resensation was that there was a gap between the nerve in the abdomen and the nerve in the chest. Avance, this new technology, has allowed us to provide a way of filling that gap that allows the nerves to reconnect without having tension at the repair. So, relatively simple procedure with a huge impact on the patient. The thing about Katie was her attitude going into this was really remarkable, and that is probably the single biggest predictor of how a patient's going to do after surgery. Nerve repair takes a while before the sensation gets back. It's typically about 1 millimeter a day, and so it takes many months, 6 to 9 months, before we start to really see the benefits of resensation.
The sensation didn't come back all at once. It was a very gradual process. I remember one point where I was just reading or on my laptop in bed. My cat was just lying across my chest, and I realized I could feel her purring. I thought, wow, he was right. Dr. Kanchwala really was right when he said I would get feeling back.
Katie sharing her story is another really important thing so that patients everywhere know what is available so that they can be advocates, better advocates for their own care. Most plastic surgeons who do breast reconstruction are men, and it's hard for us to really understand what a patient's going through. By us highlighting this technology, by us talking about patients' experiences, it is a way of letting other patients know that this is something that is available to them and that is their right to have.
To have a body that's free of cancer and still feels like me, whether it's my cat walking across me in bed or just when I hug my children, I feel like I don't take it for granted anymore. That's something that without this new procedure I wouldn't be able to have. It's my life and it's normal to me, and it's just nice to have it back.